It's finals week here at FPU, and the athletics seasons are coming to a close. We've got the scoop on Nikki Butenschoen's journey from nearly out of track entirely to the national championship meet, as well as a complete highlight from the 2012-2013 Sunbirds. Don't go anywhere because it's all coming up right now on Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics. Welcome to this season's final edition of Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics. I'm your host, Katie Rocca. Nikki Butenschoen never planned on coming to Fresno Pacific, and after an Addison's diagnosis, doctors never thought she would run track again. But as she would come to realize, God had other plans.
I started pole vaulting my senior year in high school. I went to a camp out in Paradise Valley with Todd Lehman, and he actually coaches at Paradise Valley Community College. And so I knew him, and he coached an Olympian from Beijing, April Steiner. I was being recruited by a few schools like Pepperdine and North Park University, but they weren't really catching my eye. And so I figured maybe I'd wait a little longer and work with him because he saw potential. I can't remember what started it, but I just remember that I was training like in the weight room, and I just remember feeling great, and the coach remarking on how great of a hard worker I was. I just remember my walking to school would just become harder. Like getting ready in the morning, I would just have to sit down in order to do my hair and makeup or whatever. So me and my mom, we went to a doctor, and they didn't quite know what was wrong. In November, I was to the point where walking to school, I would drive to school and had to drive with my leg up. I'd often park in the parking lot, and I would have to maybe walk 5 feet, and then I had to crouch down and stop to take a breather. For one class, I had 15 minutes to go from one side of campus to the other, and sometimes I'd call my mom to come drive me. She would come from home and come drive just to get me so I could get there on time. I started losing weight dramatically. By December, I was probably about 93 pounds. And throughout my whole experience with the doctors before, a lot thought I was anorexic. They kind of just gave up on me. I remember the doctor just walking in, and he looked at me and he was like, "You have Addison's." And I was like, "Oh, okay, where were you the whole time?" Apparently I had all the symptoms of Addison's, but it's so rare that a lot of people don't recognize it, a lot of doctors, because they're not knowledgeable about it. It's not the easiest thing to manage with, and a lot of doctors kind of just, they recommend don't do any hard physical activity, but I kind of told them, I was like, it's gonna happen, so just help me out. Once coaches found out that I had Addison's disease, they kind of just dropped me. I remember March was when I got the call from JT, and he was like, "Hey, I'm from FPU," and I was like, "Where's that?" And so he kind of told me what was going on, and I made sure right away to tell him that I had Addison's disease. I just remember one comment that JT said that just kind of grabbed me was the fact that he wanted me because of what I went through and not essentially what my past athletic accomplishments. I knew then that was the school because I knew he would take care of me, not just as an athlete, but as a person too. When I first came here, I could barely run 100 meters just fine. And I just remember having to work with my shakiness and just feeling fatigued. I had a little calendar where I would tell him how I felt that day and what we did. And so we kind of worked to a point where he wanted me to be on the edge of a cliff, that was his metaphor, but not falling off. Last year, we started working on triple jump because I used to be a great hurdler in high school, and that was where my love was. But because I couldn't run 100 meters, my first year at FPU, we started just working with the jumps, and JT saw potential in that. And I so happened to slide into the 14th position to go to nationals for indoors. I just remember checking the stats the whole weekend, trying to make sure I was like, am I in, am I not? And then I get a text from JT saying, congrats, you're going, you got a ticket. And I was like, sweet, finally. I just remember JT saying, you made it to finals. And I was like, what? Really? And so I kind of like, oh, okay. And so I kind of ran and like did a little dance, outdoors. I was like, maybe I can sneak in again, maybe. Conference was a pretty good meet. I was able to PR in all my events, and I happened to get the mark that I needed for outdoor nationals. I didn't just sneak in that time. It was actually, I got the mark that I needed, and it kind of showed me that I was coming back. Addison's was no longer controlling my life. When I'm at nationals, I get, not emotional, but like it hits me that like, what I've been through and all that, like it's totally worth it. I would go through the 6 months again in a heartbeat. There's so much I've learned about myself and about the people around me and about my own spirituality as well. I never made my religion my own, and I remember being in the hospital bed, and when the doctors didn't really know what was wrong, I like prayed, and I was like, God, can you just get me through this? And I just remember feeling just a sense of calm and peace. When I went to FPU, I didn't really know how my faith was going to be made my own still. Being with my team, they have helped me through that especially. They have helped me just be strong, and they have been there for me. Growing up, I've never had a team that has been there for me. I know that no matter what's going to happen, my next stage in life, that they will be there for me.
Bringing you this week's baseball highlights is Brandon Tripp.
Sunbirds in a strength-on-strength matchup, taking on the second-best offense in the conference in Hawaii Pacific, and Game 1 showed why they have that rank. First inning, and J.D. Sales is already trying to work out of a jam with the runners on the corners, and Cody Ellenwood lays down the bunt. Sales makes the play for home, but not in time. HPU up 2-0 still in the first, and Jordan Inamasu brings home a pair on the blooper into right field. The Sea Warriors plated double-digit runs and stifled the Sunbirds offense in a 12-0 win. FPU needing to bounce back in Game 2, and they did it in a big way. First batter of the game, Steven Lozier, second pitch he sees, and he gets every bit of that one as he launches it to right. His first home run of the year, and the Sunbirds take an early 1-0 lead. Next batter, and Matt Fox doubles one to left center, his first extra base hit of the season. Sunbirds led 2-0 after 2. Top half of the third, and Marvin Campbell lines one into the gap, scoring 2. Those would be the only runs HPU would see in Game 2. Bottom half of the inning, and Lozier up again, and he goes yard again. After not hitting a homer all year, he hits 2 back-to-back and regains the lead for FPU 3-2. Still in the third, and Kyle Copham gets underneath this one, but he drives it deep to left field, and it's gone just inside the foul pole, his 5th of the year. FPU scored 6 runs in the third, and that was way more than they needed with Ryan Custodio on the mound. He went 7 complete innings, allowing just 2 runs on 4 hits while striking out 7, and the Sunbirds win Game 2 big, 13-2.
And our season's on the line, and, Ryan did exactly what we needed him to do, and, he gave our bullpen a rest as well, and, he just was the difference. He was the difference, and he was everything we needed and everything our season needed at that moment.
I knew I had to have a good outing, give my team a chance to win, that we need to win to get to playoffs, so I knew if I go through 7 strong, giving up a few runs, I knew we could hit this game, and Lozier came through with 2 big home runs, and it happened.
Well, I took the first pitch just to kind of time him up, and I was already timed, so I knew second pitch he was going to come back with that fastball after he got behind, and I just did what I do.
I saw some guys in the batter's box, owning the box and really looking to be on offense instead of playing a guessing game and trying to take a hitter's hack and positive counts and just doing all the right things. And, it's funny, when you're doing the right things and the process is right, you're going to get the results that you want. You're trying to go up there and you're unfocused, with your plan and lacking some discipline, you're going to look and you're going to have 3 hits in the ninth.
Sunbirds looking for a series win on senior day at home, taking on Hawaii Pacific. Bottom of the third, and Matt Fox with the suicide squeeze gets it down, and the catcher Jordan Inamasu can hold on, and the Sunbirds get an early run. Same inning, and Stephen Moon with the chopper over short to bring home Robert Chambus and Brett Bishop. FPU held a 5-0 lead after 3. And with Wilson Ashford on the mound, it was all they would need. Ashford went 8 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs on 5 hits while striking out 4 as he moved to 7-2 on the year. In between the 9-7 doubleheader, the seniors were honored along with their parents, 5 seniors in total from this year's squad. Bottom of the first, and Bishop wastes no time getting a run across as his RBI double brings home senior Matt Fox for the 1-0 lead. On the mound in Game 2, sophomore James Lagorio, who was just as impressive as Ashford, allowing no earned runs on 7 hits through 6 scoreless innings. Second inning, and Steven Lozier at the plate, and he has been red hot this series, and he stays hot here, scorching in fact, as he laces one into the gap, and he turns on the afterburners for an RBI triple. Fourth inning with the Sunbirds already up 5-0, and Bishop makes it one more as he singles to left center, and Fox comes around for the run. FPU up 8-0, and Ryan Custodio, the pitcher, gets to have a go at the plate as he grounds out to third. Hawaii Pacific made it interesting with a grand slam in the 7th, but the Sunbirds complete the senior day sweep 8-5.
Well, they told me his report was 93 with cut. I was sitting it. He threw it, but I missed it, so I gave it a hard 90. And I was hoping for the best, but I got out. But thankful for that bat.
Apart from the first game yesterday, we've kind of been talking about our approach. We've been working on it in the cage, and coach has been preaching, for the right-handed hitters to go to the right side of the field. And Baron Bowery did that, excellent the second game today. And we've been trying to just practice on just going to the opposite side of the field. And I think it just hitting's contagious, so. We feed off each other and hit after hit, and then the pitching for them got a little tired and started walking people and hitting people, so it just all builds up.
Yeah, we had to win this series, and we got exactly what we needed first and foremost from our starting pitchers. Wilson, Ashford, and James Lagorio were exactly what we needed, a lot like Custodio last night. I mean, our backs against the wall, and those guys, we had to have a quality start to a great start, and we got that from both of those guys. And I mean, they really came up with some big pitches in some crucial times. We've got the challenge of finals week, as do a lot of schools out there, so we're going to have to mix in finishing strong in the classroom first and foremost, but then also we're playing this last series for our season, and we do need every game.
Thanks, Brandon. The track team may have walked away from their very first Pac-West Conference meet without a championship title, but the seniors showed incredible leadership during an injury-riddled meet. Malika Tuavanuovo and Eugene Vollmer both put together outstanding performances despite a myriad of injuries. Tuavanuovo became Fresno Pacific's first ever Pac-West champion with 3 all-conference performances on day 1 of the meet. Ashley Talon nearly set a new school record when she took 2nd place in the 400 hurdles. For complete results, head to fpuathletics.com. The women's tennis team tied for a 3rd place finish in the Pacific West Conference Championships in Hawaii after a bizarre power outage forced a draw with number 13 Grand Canyon. The number 11 Sunbirds finished the regular season 18-7-1 with the first tie in team history. The men's team came oh so close to upsetting the nation's number 5 ranked team in Hawaii Pacific at the inaugural Pacific West Championship meet. After taking a 2-1 lead in doubles, the match came down to a showdown at number 1 between number 15 Kirill Sinitsyn and number 5 Peter Michnev. Sinitsyn rallied after set 1 loss, but couldn't hang on as FPU settled for 2nd place. With seasons nearing the end, we need the help of the Sunbird fans to push our athletes over the finish line. Listen carefully for your chances to come cheer on your favorite athletes. On Thursday and Friday, baseball is heading up to Hayward for a pair of doubleheaders against Holy Names. Both Thursday and Friday's games will begin at 11 a.m. Thursday through Saturday, 3 of our finest will be in Joliet, Illinois for the NCCAA Outdoor National Track and Field Championships. May 7th through the 10th, men's and women's tennis is taking part in the NCCAA National Championship meet in Mobile, Alabama. For a full preview of the competition, check out fpuathletics.com this Monday. Remember, you can stay up to date with all the latest news, scores, and highlights for the Sunbirds even throughout the summer at FPUathletics.com and on Twitter at FPU Sunbirds. Thanks for joining and supporting us, and we'll see you next year right here on Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics.